ladies and most gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the newest allied race to be joining the alliance, the Dark Iron Dwarves. Okay, so first of all, I'll admit it, I was wrong about this race. If you guys seen any of my streams or spoken to me about this race, I was pretty skeptical about it. This was due to the fact that the Dark Iron skin has actually been in the game since vanilla, and I honestly thought it was just literally going to be a new skin color and different shades of orange hair, but no! In the latest alpha build, Blizzard finally added this race. Much to my surprise, they're freaking awesome. And from now on, I'll have a bit more faith in the crazy ideas that Blizzard have, because quite frankly, I thought the Void Elf were just going to be some extra skin colors and hair colors, and we know how amazingly they turned out. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right in and start checking out some of the customization options on this race as of the latest alpha build. So first, let's check out the options for skin color. Okay, so as of this build, the Dark Irons currently have 4 shades of skin colour. Obviously, I didn't expect a great deal of variety due to just how the Dark Irons are as a race. It was pretty much to be expected that it would just feature different shades of grey, but it's nice to see some big differences in shade though. But it's pretty much safe to assume that most players will be going with the darker skin, because that's just what they're known for. So let's briefly talk about the face options. There are currently 10 for males and 10 for females. There's also 10 for the regular dwarves as well. So I'm going to assume this is something that doesn't need changing, or is just a work in progress. To be honest, I wouldn't say that it needs anything extra added really. A dwarf's a dwarf. The face option never really does anything for me anyway. So now, on to hairstyle. Okay, so let's start by talking about the male hair. So with a total of 8, I'm actually kind of disappointed in this one so far. The regular dwarf has 11 hairstyles, and some of those have been used on the Dark Irons as well. There are a few new ones, but nothing really mind-blowing. As for the females, I'm pleasantly surprised. The female dwarf is probably one of the least played races in World of Warcraft, but I honestly think the Dark Iron female might become a fan favourite in this expansion. All the hairstyles are really awesome and have a really unique rock style feel to them. One thing to note on these hairstyles is that they do actually have glowing flames at the end of the hair, so it does bring that extra level of interest to some of the styles. Right, so now let's have a look at the different colours that you can have on these styles. So for the males and females, you have a total of 6 colours to choose from. The obvious one we need to talk about here is the white. It's a colour that's never been used on a dwarf before, and it's pretty interesting to say the least. I do like it though, especially with the combination of the flame tips of the hair. Another great choice is the black, as it makes the flames way more prominent. Overall, a great selection of colours. It'll be interesting to see if they keep the white though, as it's pretty out there compared to the rest. So next up, let's take a look at the new fiery beards. So a few things to talk about. Obviously, this first one here. When I first saw it, I honestly thought it was one of those fake string beards you get, but nope, it was just a finely braided masterpiece. This style of braid does continue throughout the other options, and I do like the attention to detail on the metal parts of the beard. They added the skulls to make them look even cooler. Another massive selling point of the beards is of course the fire coming off of them. It's a great feature, and again, it looks most prominent when choosing the black hair color. And finally, let's check out the accessories tab. So for the male and female, the accessories tab basically just means piercings. They could add different things in future builds, but this is what we have right now. For a female dwarf, piercings are nothing new, but for the males, this is actually a new feature, and it's a nice addition in my opinion. It just adds that extra layer of difference from their regular counterparts. So next, let's talk about the classes that the Dark Irons can be. It's worth noting there are actually some inconsistencies here with things that have been said and what's currently in the game files. So currently in the game files, they are flagged as being able to be Death Knights, Hunter, Mage, Monk, Rogue, Warlock, and Warriors. So firstly, it was said by Ian in a Forbes interview that we won't be seeing allied race Demon Hunters or Death Knights. Additionally to that, they also confirmed that Paladins will be a playable class for the Dark Irons. So it's pretty obvious that this list is not correct in this build, as it's speculated that they should actually be able to be priests as well. So let's briefly touch on racials. So for a while, we knew the name of the racials, but not what they did. But since the latest alpha patch, we finally get a bit more clarity on these racials. There are currently 5 racials, which are Dungeon Delver. While indoors, move 4% faster. Fireblood. Removes all poison, disease, curse, magic and bleed effects and increase your primary stat by 100 for each effect removed. Lasts 8 seconds. Forged in Flame. Reduces damage taken by physical attacks by 1%. Mole Machine. While outdoors, summon a mole machine that tunnels through the earth with a 30-minute cooldown. And Mass Production. Items crafted by blacksmithing are created twice as quickly. Okay, so let's go through these. Firstly, Dungeon Delver sounds kinda useful, basically just 4% faster moving in areas that you can't mount. I guess it's better than nothing. Fireblood just sounds similar to Stoneform with the addition of the primary stat increase. Forged in Flames could be good for tanks, I guess. Now, Mole Machine is definitely an interesting one. There are theories that it's just going to be an alternative Hearthstone, which wouldn't be that great, but what if it worked similar to an Engineer's Wormhole teleporter, where you get a choice of locations to go, or even if it ported you to any dungeon meeting stone in the world. It would suit the race quite nicely, but I imagine there'll probably be some complaints about that. And Mass Production sounds pretty good if you're a blacksmith. That's pretty much that. So one final thing to note is their starting zone. Now I'm not sure if the Zandalari Dark Irons will have the same treatment as the other allied races, i.e. not much starting zone, but a zone in the game file suggests that their starting zone could potentially be in Blackrod Depths, which makes a lot of sense really. So that's pretty much all we currently know about the Dark Iron Dwarves. The race was only just added to the alpha in the last patch, so everything I just showed and said is probably completely wrong by now. But so far it's a great indication of what's to come for this new allied race. I'll be going over their heritage armor in a future video, as that's pretty awesome and it deserves its own video. I'll probably couple it up with the Zandalari heritage set as well. So let me know down in the comment section what your thoughts are of the Dark Iron Dwarves, and if seeing them in all their glory has persuaded you to create one once they're available. So before I go, I'd like to give a massive shout out to our amazing patrons and YouTube sponsors. You guys are awesome. And if you'd like to support the channel in that way, links are down below. So leave a like on this video if you liked it guys, and subscribe if you haven't. I also have a Discord with a channel dedicated to all things Balfour Azeroth. Link is in the description. And with that, I'll see you next time.